Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my new Proxmox server desktop. Server desktop? Yes, server desktop. This has actually got a GUI on it now. This is still my Proxmox server. For the ones who didn't watch my last tutorials, I put Proxmox on this, and to this day it still is. But what I've done today is I've chucked a desktop environment over the server, which doesn't even take much in the RAM either, which I was quite surprised. So when I had the desktop loaded up and the server running with no VMs, I was only using 1.5 gigs, 1.5 gigs of RAM, which is not too bad because usually this uses around about 1.08 gigs of RAM when it boots up and idling. So the desktop environment actually doesn't use much at all. The cool thing about it, notice too, is I can actually, since it's a Proxmox server, so I've actually installed this on the console itself. So what you're seeing is actually the server console and the server's booting up. So I can actually install apps remotely. I mean, that's always been a feature on Proxmox, but I'm talking now in regards of a desktop GUI apps now. So since this has got a GUI on it, and the reason why I've pretty much done this is because I want to still use this as an actual computer and still run my virtual machines, in the background, and I don't necessarily have to stay logged in to the GUI because this is still pretty much a Type 1 hypervisor. So it's just hypervising a GUI on the thing as well. So you might as well see. So what it's doing is just booting up because it's got a 2 terabyte mechanical drive. It's a bit slow. But for what I'm wanting to do with it and from what it does for me, it serves me well. But the cool thing about this is, if this is the case, I'd be able to run this, since it's Debian based, I'd be able to install Debian apps and actually run pretty much with hardly any overheads, because Proxmox is the overall system. It's just got a GUI thrown over it, and it'll have no overhead at all regarding performance and all that. And this is a 16 gig RAM 4-core thing. So yeah, now it's booting up the server. So now it's just loading the server side of things. Now the server's loaded. Now we're booting the desktop environment over the thing. So now we're going to have a GUI, or graphical user interface. And we've got a mouse. And voila! This is the Proxmox server console. So, so let's log in. Hang on, let me just log in. I'll log in as root, as the username, and we'll just log in as the default user, because I don't got any other users on the system besides my default user. So it logs in, and once it loads for a bit, we actually have a graphical user interface. So we got the Debian. I admit some of these apps don't actually work out of the box for some reason, so I think this is it's slightly buggy with certain apps, but I managed to install LibreOffice remotely, and it works fine. So if we open LibreOffice, it should actually thing. So it's just loading. It hasn't even given time for this fully to load too. And here's the LibreOffice. So this is what I installed over the network when I was logged into the server side of things. And I've got a fully functional word processor, and I can start typing documents. So I actually plan to use the server console as business, the server console desktop environment, and still maybe have a work VM or have like something hosted. So and there's always experiments, but hey, for at the moment, for what I'm wanting to do with it, it's mean. And yeah, I just thought I would demonstrate a GUI experiment on a server. You probably can do this with any Debian-based server. You can probably put a GUI over the Ubuntu as well, but since we've got a GUI over this, I can actually use this as a normal computer. I've just got to install a better web browser because it says it has Chromium installed. So if we go to internet, I'll show you. It says it's got it installed, but when we click it, it doesn't come up. So I think I need to install something like Opera or something like that. Same with this web browser here. So we've got web browser, but it says it can't be opened. So see, we've got web browser. It gives me this message. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just install another web browser remotely using the command line because this hasn't got a package manager, I've noticed. So it's as I said, it's Debian based, so majority of Debian programs should work on here, and you can update cool thing is too, we've also got a terminal. I mean, I know with the server by default it comes with a terminal, but now we've actually got a graphical, if I can find it, where did that go? Oh, what am I doing? If we fire up, see, we've got actually fully functional, and since I'm logged in as root, I don't have to type sudo. I can always just do that. We'll just say apt. I'm just doing this with one hand, -get update. And as I said, I didn't put sudo, so because I'm logged in as root, and it's searching for updates. So yeah, you've got a fully functional terminal as well. You've also got a terminal for the desktop environment as well. So I haven't played around with that, but I probably can install programs, or I can install programs this way through the terminal, but it's cool when you can have a remote device where you can copy and paste into it and then have it install like this, like that. So rather than having to be at the desktop, sometimes I can install it remotely, as I said before. But this is just a demonstration. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and yeah, let me know what you think. But until next time, you have a good day or night, and ciao ciao.